Alright, Shalom, all praises be to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Rakakadash. Alright, double honors to the apostles, great millstone, and salute to your brothers teaching the word in sincerity and in truth, bro. And pretty much, man, this is a live right here. And this is a live right here, man, and pretty much, bro, just gonna go into like some stuff here and just go into like talking on the current events that's going down, bro. So pretty much, bro, the script says, man, I'm gonna read. Let's see if I can get it up on this. Look, man, you just had a cat get his ass. We've got a lot of things going on out here where by everything that we're saying and been saying about this, the end of the world is actually happening right now, where you had a cat individual get his head, it got wigged, right? Let's just put it like that. And that's just the stance, right, what it is at the moment, right? So all these things create problems, and it's ideal for what they want in America and across the planet. Is this civil war, mainly America. They're using politics heavy for a civil war right now. This phone, let me see, should have it. I got blue letter, but I want that Parker phone. I'm in second is just 9, but what am I? Yeah. Let me type it in Google. Because I don't want the app on this phone. That blue letter, but not the Parker phone.
I've got something for you in the meantime.
Alright, go on.
Yeah, quick preset. This is Psalms chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
Yeah, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, man. But what war was in his heart? Through the politicians and the system that they've created, they've set up a system where they come across as if they're trying to bring global peace, or they're trying to solve debt. I wouldn't even say solve debt, but they come across like that. Or I wouldn't even say solve debt, but they're coming across more like they're trying to help and give people extra money from different avenues. But it's all a scam, because every year all that happens is that you're in more debt. The country, England's in debt, America's in debt. All these countries are in debt to the international banking families. They're in debt. Common peoples and all that, they're in debt. Everybody's in debt to the bankers, right? So then what they'll do is have these puppet politicians and shit, or presidents or whatever the hell, giving you the good talk. We're gonna change this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna make it better. Build back better. That's one thing that they're using over here, I think. Build back better, right? Who's using that? Is it the Conservatives or some shit? I don't know if it's Keir Starmer, but someone was using that. Remember that Obama change? You know what I'm saying? They've always got these mantras, and the apostles. I remember Pascal Bar did a video on it where they do the free yes we can, because that's psychology. It gets in your head. It's just the way the brain works.
Or if I could say it, Elder Tony Blair, you know, he's mentioned about the 3. Tony Blair's one was education. He said it 3 times.
Right.
You know, that was the angle he was pushing. But this was the guy who was basically in there with George Bush vetoing, you know, going into Iraq, going into that. And they didn't care about the protesters. They didn't care that they had million-man marches going through London and this and that. They didn't care.
Right.
They still went ahead with what? Their war, although they talked all that good talk. Because at the end of the day, that's what they want to do. So people are getting shot out here. You got all this kind of commotion. These are all, you know, there's it's all part of the chaos that they were saying. It's all planned, man. It's all the elites. This all playing right into their playbook, you know, and all it's gonna do is further their agenda, essentially.
100%. So them guys, we always say, Tony Blair. That's a good point. He sits down with the Rothschilds. And, you know, you don't know what these people are talking about. But one thing you do know is he comes out and he says he's always pushing digital currency. So you know what's up with him. You know what's going down. Anybody that's pushing the digital system, that's super New World Order talk. That's international banking talk. Now, if you go on the Bank of England, actually one of the banks, I can't remember which one it was, but they're actually saying how, look, man, what we're doing is, because the times are changing and things are cashless and everybody's tapping cash and cashless, the bank, I think it might be the Bank of England, I did a video on it a week ago, and they basically said we're going to adapt with the times. We're not sure if we're going to do it yet, but we might have a digital. That's BS. They're going to do it. They're telling you. It's on their website, and it's got a whole video on it, a whole page, a whole video dedicated to the digital pound. But then they're acting like they wouldn't have put all that up there for it. They wouldn't have, if it was just something in passing on, we don't know about that. That's BS. They're telling you and showing you what they're going to do. And when you check it, people that are pushing that digital stuff is always people in these certain positions in government, in the system. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the scripture says, let me get that high time, Romans. Let me get this. Romans 13 and 11, and knowing the time, what time are we in now? We're in the end times, in what, 225, that's what they're saying. They'll keep messing with the time, but let's say we're 225 AD, right? Whatever. We're in the end times, bro. The Lord said He would come here after 3 days. You had the first 1,000 years, second 1,000. We're in the third day. So the Lord is getting ready. Yahweh Shai, the Son of the Most High, is getting ready to come back. And by the way, if you didn't know, man, the one they call God is black. You've been deceived by that's in Thessalonians. You've been deceived by what's going on around you, the system and the Greek idols and all of that. That's illusions, witchcraft and demons, because they summon these things. And do rituals to get out. In the Olympics, or even football, the FIFA Cup, or the World Cup, was actually a goddess, was the goddess Nike. That's what it was. Now they actually got another god on there, Atlas, basically the god of the World Cup right now. When you win the league and you pick up the fucking cup, it's fucking Atlas, bruv. Right, so that's showing you where you got to put your spirit and your allegiance to when you're in the system. But that's contrary to the law and the scriptures, where the Lord said, have no other gods but me. So these are false gods, false idols. We're here to bring you back to the Heavenly Father. Everybody that's got a problem with it, you're going to get cut off. And the Lord said that. They ain't got a problem with you. They've really got a problem with me. You got a problem with us telling me who Yahweh and Yahweh Shai is. You got a problem with that, bro?
Precept for you.
All right.
This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence.
Right, so when the Lord actually comes back in what the world calls UFOs, when you watch that movie, The Independence Day, everybody was shocked at the sight of a giant UFO, spaceship, chariot. There's multiple movies that show you at end times where a UFO comes over America, over the planet. Pursuing, when the Lord delivered the children out of Israel, it was in chariots. And it tells you that, it said the Lord was in them. That's in Corinthians as well. So the Lord and the angels are in the ships. It tells you that in Psalms, that the angels are in the ships. That's one of my favorite scriptures. When they're going on about UFOs and are unidentified and they're terrified of them, that's because there's angels in them ships. And multiple people have come out and actually said that. Bill the Letterman show, and it's a hard clip to find, right? And they asked him, look man, when you was in office, did you see any UFOs? Did you get to actually see the files and shit like that? You know what he said? He said, guess what man? Yeah. And he said, if you're worrying, what did he say? He said, because everyone goes, oh, Area 51, green men. He said, that's all BS. He basically said, that's all BS. He said, what you really need to be worrying about is when they're coming, are they going to come in peace? That's what he said. Because they ain't got an alien, they ain't got an angel dissected from a UFO in the lab, pumping juice in his brain. That's not happening. What is happening? Now, they do shit like that. That's their mad experiments. Because you know what? The government does create weird creatures and stuff like that. That Frankenstein shit. Was it? Check it out. They've got these different places. The mad scientists, right? It's kind of slipped my mind. But I don't want to say something that, you know. But they've got mad beasts that they create in labs. They'll get like a pig DNA and put it in a cow. That's what the things they do. They'll splice genes. So if some three-headed cow comes out, you know what? That cow's going to be bugged out. It's going to have spirits on it. It's going to be violent. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Just on the angels with your shy point. This is Isaiah 63 verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, travelling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Travelling
in the greatness of his strength. When you read Revelation 1 and 7, it said the Lord comes in the clouds and in the ships. But he said the greatness of his strength. That's why they saw the UFOs. Or people might see like it looks like a shooting star or something like that. This system, this government, they've got something called the Star Wars program, and they're pretty much NASA and all that are watching chariots, UFOs all the time. They're looking at them, they're scared. There's been videos where multiple amounts of videos where UFOs come on the NASA feed and they cut the feed off if there's like a great fleet of them and shit, because they cut it off. You've had top military men approach them and say, look, we've seen UFOs, and they've been shot down. Oh look man, let's not, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, look, we're seeing an object and it's stationary and it ain't, and it's just there. And then it might just shoot off. Let's read.
Yeah.
Or did you finish that?
Yeah, that was the point on that one.
I finished Romans 13 and 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is time to wake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. And how do you be saved? How do you get saved from this effing hellhole of a planet right now that we're living on? Where the water's polluted, the air's got chemtrails in it. Harsh metals and chemicals in the water, in the air, the food, GMOs. How do you escape a place like this where the elites want to starve people out? You got people like Bill Gates talking about lowering the population. It's out there in the open. Well, you get saved by the Lord and the Lord saving you physically, because the Lord is actually going to deliver the saints into the ships. That's the truth. We know what we're waiting for, bro. That's the wisdom of Solomon. A lot of y'all don't know what's going to go on, so you can get caught out with the Blue Beam projects because you don't even know what. That's how it's important to know the things that we were saying. Salvation is going to come by way of the Lord and the angels in what they call the UFOs. It's in the chariots. All right.
What's that for you after?
All right. Let's get that.
All right. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven.
That's what we're waiting for, the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. People always going about up in Hollywood and even companies. When you start talking about the Bible and stuff, they don't want you to do that. They'll cut your sponsors. They'll tell you what to say. There's videos on that sort of stuff. There's videos out there where they're saying up in Hollywood. First of all, Hollywood. And that's where they made all the movies that was projected across the world, which is indoctrination for people. In Hollywood, it was nothing but Epstein-style shit. You know, all that style shit going on. MK Ultra, mind control, witchcraft, CIA, which is going on right now. You got a lot of these effing shills on the internet, right? These cults of personalities, and a lot of them keep shaving their head bald and rocking the mustache. It's crazy. Shit like that. But you know who you are. The major platform dudes, man. One of them was going, we need civil war. Saying, I mean, what is this guy talking? He's saying exactly what the elites. He might say, oh, I was saying that's what's going to happen. I promoted it. But he promotes shit like that anyway. That tank geezer. Fucking straight out come out with it. And people already knew he was all, if he was switched on, because he's trained for that. And even just his symbolisms and shit that he rocks with from the start. He's been throwing up the pyramids from the start, right? But there's a lot of people like him, they're shills. But I'm not going to keep it on him, but what was the point I was making? Well, you know what, let's read that again.
Right. Matthew 24,
the return of the Lord, I remember what it was.
And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall...
Yes, so all the tribes of the earth shall mourn. Read.
And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
If people are picking up the scriptures and they're not telling you about this, they don't believe, they don't have faith. We're in that time right now. All this chaos going on, the world is falling apart. For this new world order that the elites want, they want order. It's called order of chaos, order out of chaos. It's a new world order, Illuminati term that's been thrown around for years. And you're seeing it right now. There's people getting shot in public, and people are scared. That some people are all for it, some people are scared. But that's just all that is chaos. Was that the movie American Civil War? That's that movie right there. Watch that movie, and that's what's going on in America right now. And if you're in England, in Europe, you know what's going on right now in your country? The children of men. That's what's happening right now. You got the flagging movement, right? So pretty much, if you're in the country, you put the flags up. People are putting flags up all over their on posts all over their country. So it's getting territorial. So people having debates whether they should flag it or not. People like, of course, they should flag it. That's that country that they're in. But it's more it's not the flagging is the beefing. If you want to use it for lack of a better word, it's territorial. It's territorial. It's like, look, man, this is. If I see you, basically, they see someone with another flag, people can start getting jumped. That's what's going on here. It's not friendly. This is hostile. This is a hostile movement. So the world's in a hostile state right now. A lot of chaos going on. They're flagging all over Europe. There's a lot of chaos going on right now as we speak. And then you got the Middle Eastern thing, and people are siding over that, and that's causing chaos within itself. Like, this ain't gonna stop. And that is actually, read Albert Pike. We already used to talk about that years ago. But Albert Pike and the Third World War, how they were gonna, what they wanted to remember, in every world war, you had to have the boogeyman, whether it be Hitler, you know, whether it was, you know, the Russians. You need a threat, right? Go ahead.
And it says, shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the heaven to the other.
So you're gonna have a deliverance of the saints of the Most High from the four winds of the planet, mainly in America, because America is Babylon the Great. But people are going to be delivered from all over the world. And that's why all of this stuff is going on. That's why, go back to this, it's saying it's a high time to awake out of sleep. I'll read it again, Romans 13:11, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. So all this stuff is getting ready to come to a close. We're going to be in the kingdom. The scriptures talks about a kingdom wherein dwelleth righteousness. We ain't going to have to be worried about what we're going to eat. We're going to have to worry about if you're going to get electric and water come through your taps. And that's another thing, you got doomsday preppers. Why have you got doomsday preppers? Because people are aware that there's going to be the grid's going to be cut off. They're going to shut down the grid. They keep using this, how a hacker did it. So the hacker did it and he ain't done it again. You just had a hacker, so-called, shut down the whole of Spain, France, all the way into Morocco and Belgium. That's like 4 countries, and it was more than that. And they just didn't really give an explanation. I mean, are we being real? Somebody just shuts off the power. There was a blackout. People were scared, panicking. There was no amenities, nothing. Complete blackout. People, and they didn't give you a proper explanation. And then what they did say is, oh, actually, it was going to happen in England, but because of such and such, it didn't happen. Like some fluke or something. I can't remember what the hell they said. This is what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with a government that, what did they say? All we need is the right major crisis, right? You said that now? Let's see who said that. Internet would go, oh, nobody really said it. Let me see if I can find that. But I remember this, oh, he didn't. Let's see. Okay, this is David Rockefeller at UN Business Conference, September 14th, 1994, right? And he's in the spirit realm right now. David Rockefeller, he went a while back now. He says, we are on the verge of a global transformation. All we need is the right major crisis, and the nations will accept the new world order. So you can't get more clearer than that. Right now in America, the Republicans and Democrats, the beef in the ideological states. That's what they want. Brothers always go into it. They're playing it, acting like the Christians. Donald Trump ain't a Christian. He don't believe in the more. Behind the closed doors, they're worshipping these idols, man. They just, you know, it's a political, it's an agenda. It's an agenda they're doing, dividing and conquering. That's what they're doing. Because both sides think they're right. So one side is like, look, man, you know, and so that's what they're doing is with that killing, desensitizing you to people just being smoked. That's what they're doing. That's where it starts. Once people start accepting that, well, fuck it, he was a bigot anyway, fuck him. That's all it takes. And that's where the anger, the rage, and the hate is going. So they just control all the complete chaos. Where it comes to the point where people ready to kill. That's what's going down, man.
You say.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Meanwhile, you know, Trump he's looking to send troops into different, cities that have a lot of J population. You know, right. You got the whole thing with Chicago. You know, you got videos of the YNs and all that. And, you know, saying come take it and this and that. Come, you know, we're ready for you and this and that. You know, you got tensions building up there. You know, we're growing up to Jacob's trouble. You got people getting shot. You know, even the president, he had the whole thing where, you know, he got shot or whatever, you know, and he, you know, so
which was a political act.
Right.
Yeah, go on, man.
Yeah, you got that.
No, you got it, bro.
Yeah,
I just wanted to.
That's what, you know. So these things are all kind of they're being set up to what to cause more chaos, and ultimately, you know, it's causing chaos for the people, but. You know, it's targeted too. They're after Jake, and this is Jacob's trouble, which is also going to be Esau's trouble, right? You know, but that's the time that we're coming into, man. You're coming into the time where there's chaos. You know, there's uncertainty, and when there's uncertainty, that's when the government comes and swoops in. They're coming with boots on the ground, okay, and they promise things to people. And what's one of the things that they're gonna ultimately come out with? They're gonna say, look, man, this is out of control. There's too much chaos. Here's a solution, the CHIP, you know, the major prophecy in Revelation 13 and 16, the mark. That's where it's all leading up to. All this chaos, you know, like the elder quoted the Rockefeller.
Yeah,
David Rockefeller. That major crisis, you know, you had the other Rockefeller that spoke to Aaron Russo, right, Nick Rockefeller. And he came out and said, look, we just basically want to chip the people, you know. So they need that crisis so that they can bring about their New World Order agenda. And the key to that New World agenda is the chip, to get everyone chipped. Get them in that bogged up AI society, digital cashless society. And that's
digital prison.
Right, yeah. And that's Esau's, you know, that's what he's trying to do with vehemently.
Yeah, they were showing you that, they've been showing you this shit from the 30s, bro. Probably before that. That's how far they've been showing you. They had that movie Metropolis, which was a book. It's actually a book. And they were showing you AI and the robots and all that. And the digital prisons back in the 30s. So it ain't no, fluke. You know what I'm saying? And all the other movies, Total Recall and all that. They've been grooming you for this the whole time. Right. You know what I'm saying? Now you go on YouTube, they do music videos. I think it was Sean Paul just come out with one. I just seen the thumbnails, but you know it moves. I didn't get to click it because I wanted to click. I was doing something. But I think that he's got an AI. There's a few of them. They're using AI for music.
Will Smith has the AI thing for his tour that was coming out.
Right.
You know.
So now it's like a cartoon. Now it's all AI. There's all these videos popping up on YouTube where it's AI corrected. It's like a cartoon, but it's clips and shorts of actual YouTubers. I'm like, is this what's happening? It's gonna keep going to you asses in the metaverse, bro. And they want to know who's loyal to that chip. That's why they're grooming it this way. And that chip is one of the miracles. That's the ultimate miracle. The miracle implant, the RFID mark of the beast. So that's why we're getting it on it from now. So when you start seeing that, a lot of y'all, oh, watch this, so this is great. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. Right? And that's why things are turning up. Turning up, you know what I'm saying? Turn up, you know, all that kind of shit. It's turned up right now. Martial law, boots on the ground, troops. Things are in place. All we need is the right the right crisis. And you got multiple events. I think there's something called the Swan event or something. You got shit hits the fan. All of that. So we're we're in that time of all that stuff, man. Remember Jade Helm used to get mentioned a lot. Martial law. Matter of fact, all these warehouses, if in the UK, these warehouses, they showed you in the show. I've seen the clip, I ain't watched it yet. One of the brothers have watched it. You know, when I watch it, I'll do a video on it and shit. I think he's already done one. But they had in the UK, they were like, for martial law, where are we going to put people? And they said in the fucking warehouses. Now they kind of show you that. They show you that in a few things, but they show you that in Children of Men. That them in cages in different places, in these centres and all that. And just random aspect in warehouses, basically. That's for those that don't accept the new system. The reason why this system is gonna effing crumble is because they want a new one in. Right? Where the Bible says, never trust thine enemy. Because as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Right? Alright, read it.
2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands.
Civil war. You definitely listen. That's prophecy. It's inevitable, actually. You seen all these flags going up, and all these communities. These people are going to be at it very soon. And if you're watching from England, that's what I'm talking about. In England, yeah, everywhere, because you got that tension going on in Spain, France. That's all that's going on right now. Hate. You're getting mad. The Most High told you it's going to happen, and these devils are the ones doing it. That's where it's at. You know, people just getting attacked, killed. You just seen some videos pop up, and these get people emotional. And then guess what? People start riding out for their ideologies. You got the right versus the left and all this sort of stuff. And the right's like, so you'll give the left some fair points and the right some fair points. And then basically, you can say the left or right on some points, and you can say, so that's not going to end, because these guys, they're going to keep going at it. The right feel victimized. The right are acting like they're the new ends. Then you got the left. You know, It's just all a mess, man. Because now I think when it comes out, whatever, but this is what's going to happen, that people getting killed and attacked over this. You got more on that?
Yeah, and it says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
They shall not regard the kings nor princes. Basically, the civilians, the kings and princes, is either your presidents. If you're in the US, your presidents. If you're in England, your politicians. You different, like in France, they got what, politicians? I can't even remember what they got.
Yeah,
Prime ministers and shit.
let's see. Double check that.
Wherever you're at, people are gonna say, you know what? Everyone's protesting right now. Whether it's over austerity, money, debt, poor. There's all sorts going on right now. But they're gonna be like, you know what? F the government, because the government ain't listening. President.
Yeah, presidents.
I thought it was presidents, you know, bro.
Yeah, so like a president.
That's what I was thinking. But we have to double check. So, people are gonna be like, well, the government ain't listening to me. You didn't do what I wanted. That's why my country's going down. So I've got to take actions into my own hands. The left are doing that, and the right. And the government will set up CIA agents to cause chaos in the streets. And then you think that was one of your own, but really the dude was a CIA operative, a complete agent, an assassin, a trained killer. Or they use the MK Ultra nut jobs. They got that. They got people that they give buzzwords to show them the butterfly. And then the dude goes out in the streets and acting like a maniac. And they'll dress him up like whatever ideology they want to put blame on, they'll dress him up in that outfit. This is what we're dealing with, bro. There's movies on it, man. I can't remember all the movies. If our brothers here, they'll be telling you. I don't know if the Manchurian Candidate.
I was just thinking now, looking out.
Showed you that. But there's films out there. Real talk. Well, listen, bro, we're gonna we make that point. You didn't check it?
No, just
okay, bro.
It's gonna be
We're gonna finish on this, and then we're gonna close out. And this. There'll be more shows coming. But just know that we're in them times, bro. Like, this is real. What is happening right now? And they're gonna start making the moves. Revelation 12:12. So we're gonna keep talking about this. Because we're real close. We're in the end times. If you thought it was all that 40 years and not in my lifetime, in 100 years time, look how quick the world's changed, bro. You had it wrong. Oh, this ain't gonna happen in my lifetime. That was a faithless argument. And a lot of people did that because they didn't want it to happen in their lifetime. The number one, they ain't got faith, and number two, some of them didn't even want it to happen in their lifetime. But, you know, in these times, you draw onto your faith, right? Let's see, let me get something there. Let's see. Romans 1:17. For therein is the righteousness of the Most High revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. The just shall live by faith. Right? So you're gonna have to have faith in these dark times that are coming, because there is gonna be death in these streets, bro. There is going to be mass death in these streets. Okay? So That's what we're telling you, man. So we're gonna close out, and if the spirit jumps on, I'm gonna do another show in a bit. But I'm gonna try it. I will see what the spirit wills. I'm gonna try and get on that unlimited streaming. But that's damn hard, because I ain't one of them. You know what I mean? We always live every shows, or we live anyway. But that might be, that's a different. You know what I'm saying? All right, man. I don't know. Yeah, shalom to you brothers out there, man. We'll catch you brothers on the